What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Fantasy Football Show. November 17th, 2020. We got a big podcast coming. We got the boys in the building. We got Brandon Bruce, Boyer, and Zach. I think Boyer's going to keep grinding Assassin's Creed, probably, it looks like. But yeah, for the rest of us, we're going to hop into some news and notes. Just going to start off with probably the biggest piece of news from this last week's slate of games. Drew Brees, he got smacked down to the ground and has multiple rib fractures and a collapsed lung. I heard it was 5. I don't know about you guys.
5 collapsed lungs?
That's crazy. I didn't know we had that many.
5 collapsed lungs.
I do.
That just sounds really painful, personally. I saw he was getting like a second opinion, but I mean, I feel like he's still going to be out for a few weeks.
Famous James.
Yeah, dude. We're going to see some more Jameis Winston. Maybe some Taysom Hill. Love that.
Not at all.
The Saints said that, like, 2 years ago, they said, before Drew Brees went down last year, they said Taysom Hill is their quarterback of the future. And then the time comes for him to play quarterback, and they play Teddy Bridgewater.
Or Taysom.
Yeah, for real. Drew Lock, he had a rib injury. He's questionable to play this next week. Joe Flacco's getting the start this week after his really good performance against the Pats. Jordan Howard, the beast of fantasy a few years ago, he got cut. I know Bruce is a Jordan Howard fan.
I like him. I used to have him in fantasy, and he did very good for me about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. This year, not so much. Used as a goal line back. I think he's averaging literally like less than a yard a carry.
I think it was 1.2, actually.
Yeah, like very
1.2.
efficient. Very efficient.
Getting stuff done.
Yeah, for real. Teddy Bridgewater, he has an MCL sprain. It's day to day. It's not on the same knee that he had like completely dislocated or something and just tore everything. So that's good, but might not start this next week. Christian McCaffrey is doubtful this week already from the start of the week. Unfortunate to see, but we move on. Matthew Stafford, he had a thumb issue. He had an X-ray. It came back negative. I'm sure Zach loves that.
Again.
Nick Boyle, he had a major knee injury. It was kind of gross to see. He had it like hyperextended. Their coach, Jim Harbaugh, said that he's out for the season. So yeah, more Mark Andrews. Nick Boyle's more of a blocking tight end anyway, so maybe a downgrade on the running backs. Jermichael Hasty, broken collarbone. The 49ers, awful injury-ridden season. Gets worse with Jermichael Hasty going down. It's looking like Raheem Mostert will be back this next week, so some good news at least for them. Zach Ertz designated to return from IR this week, and Tyler Lockett has a knee sprain, and he plays this Thursday. A lot of injury issues. It's kind of been the whole season so far this year. We're going to move on to our results from picking the winners and losers of the games. Brandon, you're 6-2.
Let's go, baby.
Not too bad. You lead it off. Zach, he's 5-3 this last week. He got second. Followed up by me and Bruce at 4-4, and Boyer at 3-5.
Respectable.
I'm just saying, I'm the only one who picked the Thursday night game right. The Colts. You guys all picked Tennessee. I got the Colts.
You actually picked the Colts?
Yeah. I think it was one of those where all of you guys picked Tennessee, and I was like, well, I gotta kind of
Be different.
be a little different.
You are a little different.
Hey, thanks, man. Speaking about that Thursday night game, we did a buy or sell section of the show on Thursday last week. So the first one was Ryan Tannehill to be a top 15 quarterback on the week. Me and Boyer were the only ones to sell, and he hit quarterback 17 on the week. So me and Boyer coming up clutch with that pick.
Oh, yeah.
Derrick Henry to get over under 79.5 rushing yards. He got 103. I was the only one to sell. So you guys are smarter than I am.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, it's all right. I mean,
Hey,
you
no,
know,
no, it's okay. I mean, I only did it just be different, but it's cool. It's cool, dude. Again, AJ Brown. He was. I think the line was wide receiver 12 or higher. He was wide receiver 81 with 3.1 fantasy points. I was the only one to buy it. So you guys all beat me there. But dude, he dropped a 60-yard touchdown bomb, dude.
It was right in his hands.
Oh, he dropped it like 3 times. He
Right
caught
in-
it,
yeah.
threw it up, and then caught it, and then dropped it. That was frustrating. That would have really helped me out this week in our fantasy league. But yeah,
It is what it is.
yeah,
I mean, you needed a few more bombs to help you out,
yeah.
but
We'll talk about it at the end of the podcast. I made a few mistakes. So Boyer went 3-0 on the buy sell this week. Boyer, what were your secrets to your success, huh?
My gut.
Nice.
My gut.
Big gut feeling there. Big gut feeling. Moving on to the starts of the week. We dropped a special podcast on Saturday. It was a great one to listen to. If you didn't, go check it out. It was an incredible podcast from us. We just talked about our starts of the week for this week. So to kick it off, the quarterback picks. I had Jared Goff. He's QB 19 on the week. That's a miss. Brandon, you want to talk about your quarterback?
talking about Lutton,
Yeah.
what the goat?
Yeah.
You know, he had an off week. It happens to the best of us. He had
Yeah.
the elite Packers D against him.
Yeah.
No, man, it was a wrong start. He didn't do that great. He only got 8.7 QB 22. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta fish
Take
for a
your
line
losses.
and try to get the good one. But
Yeah.
it didn't happen, man.
Yeah. I think that what happened in that game, we had a lot of expectations for it to be an offensive shootout, and then the weather was awful. There was like 50-mile-an-hour winds at points, so kind of took away from that.
50.
What you two talk about your quarterback starts of the week?
Tua,
Oh,
he had the good old 14.66 points, but
Could
hey,
have been a better week. Could have been a better week.
no turnovers, 2 touchdowns. The only thing he struggled at was he only threw 169 nice yards. And
Nice.
that was it.
Animal. Yeah.
And then he didn't really have anything on the rushing. But
2013 Alex Smith type
you
beat.
know what?
Alex
He's
Smith.
3-0. He's 3-0 now.
He is 3-0. He's matched Mitchell Trubisky's record on the season.
Nice.
That's a toughie. That's a
Ugh.
tough to beat.
I'm gonna be honest, Sean Watson. If I would have known it was gonna be gloomy and rainy all day, would not have played him. I didn't realize that until about 2 minutes after the game started, and it was too
Yeah.
late. I
It
would
was
have played Big Ben, who scored like 29.82 points, something like that. But
Hey,
instead,
Big Ben was playing in the same weather.
really?
It was like it was so windy the entire
Here we
game.
go. Steelers fan alert. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
I'm just saying it was.
Hey, man, I'd pipe down. Just prepare for the Jags to win.
Here for the Jags.
Oh yeah, it's
along.
Jag Steelers week, by the way.
Oh, Jack Steelers week. Huge week. Let's go.
I'm excited to see the Pittsburgh Steelers lose.
The Jags come through. They did against Indy. They beat a good team there.
Week
did.
1?
Steelers are getting too.
Yeah.
Was that their last win?
Yeah, but you know,
Hey, relax, man.
it's time to turn things around.
They're in a slump.
Wait,
okay?
how many wins do the Jags have again? Can you repeat that?
One, maybe.
Just
All right,
week
they're
one.
in a
Hey, yo,
slump.
the
They're in a
Lions
little
win
bit of a
one
slump,
game,
okay?
and Zach thinks he can talk.
4 and 5. It's a comeback season. We're on the way.
All right, moving on to running backs. I had our boy Antonio Gibson, RB7 on the week, back-to-back RB1 weeks, 22.5 fantasy points. He he was not getting the work in the first half. They were giving everything to J.D. McKissick, and I was worried. And then they finally realized that J.D. McKissick is not good. He's not efficient, not as efficient as Antonio Gibson. And then he got in with 2 touchdowns, saved his week. Yeah, I love that. I love Antonio Gibson. Brandon, talk about James.
James Robinson had kind of a Derrick Henry type of week, you know. He got 100+ yards while only still getting 13.2 fantasy points, being RB20 with 100+ rushing yards. You know, just didn't get touchdowns. I think one reception or 2 receptions, something like that. And yeah, I mean, you're just missing a touchdown there, something like that, and it's a decent game.
You know, the Jags could have used a touchdown too.
They could have.
Hey, they kept it close.
All right, so who's next?
Go ahead, take her away.
So I don't remember what everybody else chose for their starts of the week, but I'm going to claim that I'm the greatest.
You had Wayne Gallman.
Wayne Gallman, 2 touchdowns on 18 carries.
Hey, man, where's the A? Where's the A in the middle of his name? Gallman.
Gallman. Ballman.
So, I mean, I think it was a pretty good pick.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And if Devontae Freeman continues to be out, I think it'll stay a good pick.
Yeah, in the Starts the League podcast, you said that he would get 20+ fantasy points and be an RB1 on the week. He got 19, but he was RB1 on the week, RB10. So, I mean, you're right there. Great pick. Zach?
Oh, no.
Yes.
What
was my turn?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't play him. I picked J.D. McKissick because I like him better than Antonio Gibson. Granted, J.D. McKissick was RB12, so it was a decent pick if you're looking for a RB2.
I definitely say that hit.
I think it's a good one. And then T. Higgins showed up. I love me some T. Higgins. I wish I had him on my team, actually, but he looked pretty good, too.
T. Higgins was wide receiver 9 on the week. You said top 15, maybe top 10. That was your direct quote. He was wide receiver 9 on the week.
That's what's up.
Great pick. T. Higgins.
We don't have to talk about Hawk. We don't have to talk about Hawk. Well.
Hey, well, if we're not talking about things, I did Darnell Mooney, 2.3 fantasy points on the week. Absolute beast. It was incredibly frustrating. I picked up Mooney for this fantastic matchup. And what I started him instead of Justin Jefferson. Awful matchup. I was just like, you know what? I'm taking the player who's about to break out with a great matchup over the player who has burned me in the past with a poor matchup. But the X factor that I forgot about was Matt Nagy and the Bears and Nick Foles. I mean, that's a triple threat of an awful choice. Should not have done that. Yep. Darnell Mooney was a poor choice. Rounding it off, we'll just skip to my tight end. Austin Hooper, 2.1 fantasy points. Awful week for tight ends, and Austin Hooper was one of those.
Tough.
Yeah. Brandon, let's talk about your hot take from Saturday.
Oh, man. So Brandon Cooks, I said that he was going to drop
35.
I do remember you saying 35. That was all my words.
I re-listened to it today. You said he's going to drop 35 fantasy points and be a top 5 wide receiver on the week.
Yo, we can't hear you, Brandon.
Yo, I think Brandon's gone, man.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So I said that Brandon Cooks is going to get 35 fantasy points, and he's going to be a top 5 at least.
At
least.
He got 9.9 points, and he was a wide receiver 39.
I mean, you didn't miss the mark by that much.
I mean, think about it. Just give or take a couple passes.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as your Jags over and under. It was a solid pick.
Yeah, I think the problem there was also that I said that it was going to be a shootout there too, and Deshaun really didn't get much going.
Yeah. I think that was just a weather game.
Heartbreaking.
Yep. So Bruce's was Corey Davis, but he had 11.7 fantasy points, right receiver 30. Zach talked about his a little bit. TJ Hawkinson, 3.3. I'm assuming you caught some of that game. Do you want to break that
I
game
got
down?
highlights,
Yeah.
and Hawkinson was not involved in the
Nope.
slightest.
No. Yeah. The Lions try to do their best Falcons impression.
They do it. Every loss is a choke. If you look
Yeah.
at the game score,
Dude, yeah. That would have been such a fairy tale ending for Alex Smith, though.
that's okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on past our start of the week recap. Look forward to that for Thursday podcast. Hopefully, we'll touch on those a little bit earlier. So moving on now to the studs of the week. Starting with the quarterback position, Tom Brady QB1 on the week. I made a great decision of dropping him for Jared Goff with the matchup. Tom doesn't have back-to-back bad games. Tom does not have back-to-back bad games. It's kind of something that he does. Kyler Murray, the Hail Murray, incredible play. I mean, just incredible play. Probably best player of the year. I mean, so far for sure.
Every second of it.
Dude.
Beautiful.
D-Hop going up. That was insane. Big Ben, quarterback number 3 on the week with the 4 touchdowns. Bruce, talk about it.
So I remember, because I think you probably remember me texting you at the start of the game, because, I mean, I figured it was just going to be run game, whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not the case. It was just windier than ever at the start of the game. And, I mean, it stayed throughout the whole game. There was stuff flying on the field the whole time. But then, I don't know, Ben just kept slinging it. And they were just making passes and getting open.
Yeah, I mean, for a weather game, they did not care. Like,
No.
James Conner only got 13 carries.
Yeah.
Which, disappointing. But we move on. I mean, they have the passing weapons and they use them. Josh Allen, quarterback number 4. Heartbreak for him and the Bills. They thought they got the last second win, but they didn't. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback 5 on the week, replacing Jake Luton from Brandon's pick. Aaron Rodgers is a beast, playing out of his skin. Matthew Stafford, quarterback 6. Daniel Jones, quarterback 7, got in the end zone this time, didn't fall down on his a little scramble. You'll love to see that. Lamar Jackson, top 8 quarterback performance. Haven't seen too many of those. It was against New England. They were actually having to throw the ball quite a bit, which was surprising given the weather, but New England was ahead for a lot of it. He made one really poor throw and threw it to, I think it was on Marquise Brown, but J.C. Jackson picked it off. Justin Herbert, another top 10 quarterback performance. Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback 10. Kirk Cousins, 11. And Cam Newton, top 12. So that's the quarterback ones. Cam Newton's put, I think, 3 games in a row now of, 16-plus fantasy points. So he's turning his season around a little bit. Any studs you guys want to talk about from quarterbacks?
I love Kyler Murray
Yeah.
with my life.
He's on pace to beat Lamar Jackson from last year in every stat.
But he's not going to win MVP.
Yeah. No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean Aaron Rodgers is playing insane as well.
Patty's playing insane.
Yeah, Pat. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on to the running backs. RB1 on the week, Alvin Kamara. Only 8 carries, but he had 7 catches for 83 and a touchdown. 2 more on the ground as well. He had 8 carries for 15 yards on the ground. I mean, Brandon, are you worried now with Drew Brees going to be out for a few weeks that Alvin's production will dip a little bit?
No, I feel like it'll be fine if Nye actually gets a little bit more. I mean, he's just going to have those little short passes. I feel like.
Jameis, don't throw short passes.
Yeah, no, Jameis slings that thing. He doesn't
Oh,
care.
just go
Oh,
routes
dang
to
it.
Michael
Forgot
Thomas.
they had Jameis. I thought they had some no-name rookie in the back. God dang it.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
dude,
Jameis,
Jameis sucks.
he led the league
He
in
looked
yards
terrible.
last year. Led the league in interceptions last year.
30 of them.
Hey, man. Maybe the game plan will right towards Alvin. Hopefully. But,
It very well could.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I really have no clue how this is going to go. But
Yeah.
I
Josh
mean, he's still going to
Jacobs.
be an automatic start.
Right. Yeah,
That's all.
you're not taking him out no matter what. Josh Jacobs, RB2 on the week, finally had his bounce back game. I think a lot of us knew this was coming. Since week 7, he had 3 points, 12 points, 12 points. Now he got into the end zone a couple of times, I think. Really happy it came against me in our league. Ronald Jones, RB3 on the week. 23 carries, 192 yards, and a touchdown, including a 98-yard run to the house. So I was watching this game a little bit just on Red Zone, and what Bruce Arians and the Bucs have done is whenever a running back messes up, they just take him out for a half. They take him out for 2 quarters or more. And they're within 2 minutes of the game, Ronald Jones catches a check down and then fumbles. And then I saw that and I was like, well, no Rojo rest of the game. He's going to get 3 more carries. And then they didn't do that. They didn't discipline him for once. And I mean, you see what he can do. He has that big play capability. I mean, it was just really surprising that he didn't get just ripped the rest of the
Did
game.
really nice on your bench.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no way I'm starting him. Like, I mean, what has he done the past few weeks? The past 3 weeks, 9 points, 2 points, 1 point. I mean, and those are all weeks in which he messes up and then he gets taken out. Moving on, Nyheim Hines, RB4 on the week. He had a lot of work, especially through the air. DeAndre Swift, RB5. Zach, you got to love that, huh?
I'd love DeAndre Swift. I was not expecting it at all. I literally said don't start him, and he still did it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a wild performance against a tough matchup. Washington, we talked about this on Thursday's podcast, that Washington has a great line and they're good against the run.
It's weird with Lions running backs too, because I feel like it's not a consistent one every year. Like 2 years ago, Theo Reddick. Last year was what's his name?
Carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
And then this year is DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift's here to stay. Promise.
I like him.
I rewatched.
I didn't like him at the beginning of the season when he dropped a touchdown for the win.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
He's doing better.
I rewatched some of that game, and he just looked super dynamic, super explosive, plant cut. Just, I think he forced the most missed tackles this week. So yeah, an impressive performance. He had his high so far this year was 16 carries. It just kind of makes you think, like, what if he didn't drop that touchdown pass? Like, would he have gotten more carries throughout this season? Devontae Booker, running back for the Las Vegas Raiders, RB6 on the week. He had 16 carries for 81 yards. The Raiders were running the crap out of the ball. I didn't even notice this. I knew he scored a few touchdowns, but I just thought that was just going to throw away. Nick Chubb, RB7 on the week. Good to see him back. I actually just got done listening to some Pat McAfee, and he had Nick Chubb on there, and they were talking. He asked him, like, if that was a game plan to just run out at the 1 at the end of the game. And he said he forgot about it. He was running, and he got to about the 10, and he was like, oh, crap, I got to step out. So, I mean, he was 10 yards away from it would have been the bonus point plus the touchdown. So he could have been RB1 on the week. Rex Burkhead, RB7. Antonio Gibson, RB9. Wayne Gallman, RB10. Malcolm Brown, RB11. And Salvon Ahmed, running back, Miami Dolphins, RB12. He had 21 carries. I think this might be the Myles Gaskin replacement. until Myles Gaskin gets back because we don't know the health of Matt Breida. Impressive performance from someone no one knew about going into the season. Moving on to the wide receivers. MVS, wide receiver 1 on the week. He had 4 catches, 149 and 1. Did you see him absolutely shake the ref?
Oh, dude, the ref folded.
Yeah,
I watched the game live, and I just saw him he started on this side of the field, cut all the way across, went back, crossed the ref, and scored. And I was like, that's a lot of points for Aaron Rodgers. Thank you.
Yeah, he used the ref as a blocker.
He did.
You love to see that. Wide receiver 2. Oh wait, this is not in PPR. I apologize. Let's see if this changes. Whoa, this changes. Cole Beasley, wide receiver 1. Cole Beasley, 11 catches, 13 targets, 109 and 1. I didn't get to see much of this game.
He'd run a curl every single play. He'd just run, stop, turn around, catch. Run, stop, turn around, catch. Every time.
Yeah, he offers something different that Stephon Diggs isn't really used for in this offense. I saw one little play where he just absolutely shook Patrick Peterson at the line. You love seeing that. Pretty embarrassing for Pat Pete there. DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver 2 on the week, 7 catches, 127 and 1, including best catch of the year, maybe. I mean, just going over 3 defenders. Arizona Cardinals, got to be happy with that. Hey, Zach, I couldn't hear you there. I can't hear you, man. Stephon Diggs, wide receiver 3 on the week. Another Buffalo Bills wide receiver, Josh Allen's getting it done through the air. MVS, like we talked
I think he's
about.
back, baby.
Is Zach, you there, man? MVS, we talked about him. Deontay Johnson, wide receiver 5 on the week. I didn't really look at this much. We'll skip ahead a little bit. Juju, wide receiver 8 on the week. Chase Claypool, wide receiver 11 on the week. Steelers had 3 wide receiver 1s. Bruce watched this game the closest out of all of us. Take it away, man.
I mean, it's the same thing as with Ben. They were just slinging it, and they were all just open. And Juju is an absolute beast. I swear, every time he gets the ball, he just takes a hit and then just keeps running. He's got that bad X factor where he just breaks the first tackle for some reason. And he hurt a man who tried to hit stick him. He just the guy came to hit him. Juju just went lower and he just killed the guy. It was kind of funny. But it was that, and then Deontay Johnson just looks crazy fast and shifty. Mm-hmm. And then Claypool's just huge.
Yeah. I think to credit Juju's performance might have been the Danny Duncan effect. Danny Duncan was there.
Danny was there.
This is the another performance in a row. Just for Juju, I think. Let's see. So he had 21 last week, 22 this week. Juju's bouncing back from the.
Hey, the thing's about to end, by the way.
Yeah. So to round off this top 12, Marvin Jones 5, Willie Snead 7, T. Higgins 9, Justin Jefferson 10, Adam Thielen 12. Adam Thielen's catch in that game was nasty. If you guys caught that, just holding off. He was holding off one defender and then caught it with one hand. Kirk Cousins put the ball in the perfect spot. No one else is getting to it. So yeah, I'll just let this end out, and then I'll send you guys invites, and then we'll wrap up studs, and then go to duds, and then talk about our matchups.
Okay.
Now I can hear you.
No fucking way you can hear me.
Dude, what do you do? What happened?
You just sound so quiet.
My mic's muted.
The fuck?
Hey man, did you like my joke? He said Adam Thielen had an amazing catch. Did you guys catch it? And I said no. Adam did.
Hey, Can we? Hey, before it ends, we need to talk about how Brandon thinks Adams is going to fall off.
All right, we're back. What we got heated discussion. Brandon thinks that Devontae Adams is going to fall off. Talk about it. Get back in it.
He's going to be going from like what his average he's going to be saying, like probably like 17 on the lower end to like probably like 24 on the higher end, which is good, by the way. But I don't see him dropping a bunch of like 30 games throughout the end of the year.
I think you're wrong.
What's the evidence? What's the evidence?
His gut.
Good.
I don't trust no one's gut more than Boyer's, man.
Cold
To
take.
be honest.
Boyer's got the gut, don't he?
Got the gut.
He's got the gut, man.
Big gut feeling.
All right, we're gonna round off wide receivers here. Something I want to talk about. We had Antonio Brown, wide receiver 26, Chris Godwin, wide receiver 22, Mike Evans, wide receiver 13. All three wide receivers for the Bucs were startable. They were all top two for wide receivers. So, I mean, I think that's something to remember, that they can all perform at the same time, as well as Gronk being tight end one on the week as well. Speaking of which, great segue into tight end studs. There was not many. Gronk, number one. He was tied with Mark Andrews, Hunter Henry, Cameron Brate, Jordan Reed, Logan Thomas, Pharaoh Brown, Richard Rodgers, Jonas Smith. I mean, if you didn't score a touchdown, you weren't in the top 12. I don't want to spend time on tight ends because
Wasn't a week for tight ends. I mean, that's just.
Did you just say Gronk really scored the most points for a tight end?
Gronk tied with Mark Andrews with 13.1. 13.1 was the lead.
Wow.
I hate tight ends, dude.
Tight ends
I
so
hate
hard.
them.
This is like the appreciation week for Travis Kelce. I mean, this is
Yeah, because he was on bye.
yeah. This was a Travis Kelce appreciation week.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I do want to say though, that was the first week T.J. Hawkinson scored less than 9.3 points all season.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a poor week. It just freaking sucks. Tight ends suck, dude. Tight ends suck. Take him out. Replace him with another defense.
Place him with another quarterback. Let's do a 2-quarterback league.
No, fuck that, dude. All right, we'll move on. I think the best way to do duds is just to put them in with our matchup review from this last week. So we'll go through our matchups in our fantasy league, and focus on duds, focus on studs. Who wants to take it away first?
Brandon does.
Brandon does.
Oh, what? Whoa, what?
You want to talk about your matchup, Mr. Hatman?
All right. All right. So let me break down for you real quick. Mr. 785 has 5 bars. That's this guy. He takes the W this week with 122.86 points against Zach's Bad Sword Spiders with 87.68. The big takeaway on my team is that Josh Allen and Alvin Kamara carried me. Josh Allen dropped 27, 1T2, 27.36, and Alvin had 34.8. After that, my team seems to drop off with my next highest score being Daniel Carlson at my kicker spot. And, the duds on my team this week was DK Metcalf with 4.8, only 2 receptions. That's kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Boyd, 6 receptions, just didn't get a touchdown, no nothing. Darren Waller had a deep pass that he dropped. Made me sad.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think, wasn't that the one that went right through his hands? Was it that?
I think so.
No. It was the one where he's had to reach back for it around his backside, and he just dropped it.
Yeah.
Painful drop.
It was a 50-yard.
He yelled really loud at the TV when that happened. He was really upset.
I literally yelled at the TV.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't been that heartbroken in a while. We look at Luke's team. Justin Herbert dropped a solid 20 points. That's nice. Adam Thielen dropped 20 points. And then everyone else, wow. David Johnson with 5.4. Nard with 8.7. Robert Woods, 8.6. Graham, nothing.
Deuce.
Samuel, 4.2. Green Bay's defense did better than mine with 7, as I had the Ravens that scored 1. And then Sanders' kicker was pretty solid with 13.
I feel like this year has been the highest scoring season out, I think, of all the seasons in the NFL. But I feel like for fantasy production, a lot of it has gone to the studs. But then like some weeks, like this week and a few weeks ago, it's just gone to just people who no one's really starting. I like those games.
All right, Brandon, how do you feel about Kareem Hunt finally scoring some points?
Oh! You're saying Nick Chubb comes back and he gets the most rushing yards he has in the entire year? Yeah, that's cool. It's incredible. He dropped a solid. Was it 16 points?
16,
yeah, 16.2 with 104 yards.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that both running backs had over was it 16 carries or something? Both of them had more than that and sustained RB1.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of game script though, like weather, low scoring game.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of
get this. Kareem Hunt had more rushing yards more rushing attempts in this game than he had all the games where Nick Chubb was out.
Yeah, that's what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Frustrating. It's really frustrating. We'll move on to the next matchup. I guess we'll just talk about me and Boyers just because we're the only two who played each other on the podcast. Final score ended up being 110 to Boyer's, my 85 points. We'll start it off on a depressing note with my team. We'll break my team down first. I got too cute this week. I thought matchup Jared Goff. He played incredible. He played very well. He got 10 fantasy points, but he threw for over 300 yards, which is what you need, but he just had no touchdowns. He would march the team down the field. He had one where the receiver went out at the 1 yard line. I saw someone say that if Jared Goff was just playing to the 5 yard line, he'd have the quarterback 1 week because he had so many completions up towards the goal line, and then they just run it in. That was really frustrating. James Conner, another awful week, 6 fantasy points. Antonio Gibson, I called my shot, and it hit. Tyler Lockett, 11 points. Frustrated with Lockett. I knew that a slump would come after the blow-up game, but this has been like 3 or 4 games now. A.J. Brown dropped a bomb. Evan Ingram, tight ends were awful. Darnell Mooney, I sat him instead of Justin Jefferson, and it just didn't work out. And to make matters worse, I dropped Tom Brady, the quarterback 1 on the week for Jared Goff. So if I would have just stuck to what I had before, I would have beat Boyer. And it sucks even more because of our records. We're fighting for the last playoff spot, really. A few players on my bench went off, but I wasn't even thinking about starting them anyway, so it didn't matter. Boyer, take it away, man.
I want to thank Josh Jacobs. The man finally performed the way he should perform. I'm very happy to see that. He should have 3 touchdowns because he scored a touchdown, they kicked it off, and they picked it off in the red zone. Like they picked it off in, I don't know, it was like the 37-yard line or something like that. They ran it back to like the 18, and they just couldn't complete. They had to kick a field goal. But I mean, Mike Davis, man. I mean, he had a hell of a week or a hell of a year when Chris McCaffrey went out, and then recently he's averaged at like 8.5. He just doesn't go any better. Like the matchup wasn't horrible for him. I mean, I feel like he could have ran a lot more. He just didn't. I mean, he also hasn't gotten as many touches as he got at the beginning of the year. But I don't know. I really thought, Chris McCaffrey's out. Mike Davis is going to go off, hoping. And that makes it worries me for this next week. He's playing Detroit, but it's like, is he going to score? Is he going to do what he's supposed to do? Or is he going to score 8?
I think a lot with that Mike Davis thing is that they were playing from behind the whole game.
Yep.
Tom Brady just pooped on him.
Tampa was pissed that they got absolutely embarrassed on
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football. Yeah, Mike Davis, past 4 weeks, 8.6, 8.7, 8.7, 8.4 fantasy points.
Yeah.
He's slowing down. He doesn't have the juice like he did earlier.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the man. He's consistent.
Yeah.
If we go consistently back up like he was doing. But and then Cooper Kupp scored about what I expected. I really didn't expect Cooper Kupp to score more than I expected really 12, but he scored me 10. He didn't get a touchdown because he really is a touchdown dependent running a right receiver. He really is. But honestly, with no touchdown, he still scored me 10 points. I call that a pretty good week for him. 5 receptions for 50 yards. And then Boo Boo. I gotta love Boo Boo. The dude scored 22 points for me. That was when he was playing, was when I was getting scared. Because for the most time, Colin was ahead of me.
Yeah.
And then because he was ahead of me, and then he had AJ Brown, and then my defense did nothing. He scored 2 points, and his scored 8, which was worrying me. But then Boo Boo just went off.
Yeah, when I was watching the games throughout the day, it sucks like having to cheer for the Giants like against the Eagles. Like it's just an awful game. Like it could just go either way, and you're just praying that the Giants, the offensive powerhouse that they are, to score some points.
It was worrisome. But then I listened to my boy Brandon play DJ Chark. I mean, honestly though, it was the move. I was gonna play Robbie Anderson. The dude only scored 6, and DJ Chark scored me 9.6. So I am happy he did that. I'm happy Brandon talked me into it. But I really like it. If TJ Hawkinson would have scored the points he needed, that'd have been nice. Him scoring his 3.3, he would have just scored his usual 9 to 15. But the one that I really think that the only regret I have of this week would be not noticing Deshaun Watson was playing in a really crappy rank. Because I know like Big Ben was too, but I would have picked up Big Ben. That's who I would have picked up. I told Brandon that as soon as I noticed, I was like, I should have picked up Big Ben. I knew he was going to score.
I did hear that.
All points. He scored like 29.8 or something like that.
Had a good game.
Yeah, in the game. So that's the only thing I really look back on. That's what I would have looked back on if I would have lost. Would have been, damn, I should have played Big Ben.
Our matchup was so frustrating. Like I was ahead the whole time, and I was just like, James Conner's gonna get going at some point in this game. They're up by a lot. They have to run the ball in this awful weather, but they just kept throwing the ball. Like I don't get it. I started watching the game more in like the fourth quarter, and he still just throwing the ball, and it was annoying. Like James Conner had 13 carries, but I think he had 81% of the carries like overall. So he's getting all of the work, but it's annoying. But yeah, I decided to stick it out with Darnell Mooney when I was down by a lot, just because I called my shot and I wanted to keep it. But
I was honestly very surprised about that call because
I called my shot, so I had to stick to it. I didn't care. I was
like, just you're looking pretty good, and then I was like, yeah.
Imagine if I played Tom Brady, and so I get 20 points, so it's 105 to 110, and I stay with my shot of Darnell Mooney, and I lose because of that. That would have been even more annoying. But anyway, we'll move on. Which one of you two got it?
I mean, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. What about my phone real quick? I had a weird week because I didn't really have anyone go over projections greatly. I mean, Kyler Murray did, obviously. He was projected like 26, dropped 31, which isn't that much higher, but still. D-Hop went over by like, I want to say he was projected roughly 18, but he dropped 27. But no, Dalvin had kind of a stinker for his standards at 15. Nick Chubb went over projection by 3, finished with 18. Honestly, I didn't think he was actually going to perform that well. So I was kind of happy I was playing Wyatt because I was banking on a goose. I got to be honest. Yeah. But Devontae Adams didn't really do what he normally does. He dropped 18. Terry dropped 17, pretty normal for him. My defense scored -1. But
you bet against the Lions.
I bet against the Lions and I missed. I don't
That's what you get. That's what you get for not being loyal.
That's my bad, dude. Literally, whenever I bank on him, that's when it bites me in the ass. So I don't do it.
Yeah.
I think the real thing with my team was that I don't want to do the math off the top of my head, but I feel like my bench probably could have won too.
Yeah, you got 20 there. You got 10. There's 30. There's another 45. Yeah. I think you
I feel like I could have. I feel like I could have won with my bench.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part. I feel so bad for Wyatt, man.
Yeah.
It's so sad to see.
Hey man, I'm tied with him.
There's a difference between your guys' teams. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say. I mean, Chase Claypool and T. Higgins, this wide receiver duo, they did pretty good, but no, I kind of expected to win. So not really much of a week for me, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, White's team is just bad.
Poor guy.
Take it away, Bruce.
I'll get a move on.
So I had the old Cooper matchup this week. I wasn't really worried going into it. I honestly thought I told Coop to start his lineup, and he just didn't do it. And I also figured that Zach would do it for him, but he didn't. So he had the old.
Can I say one thing before we get into it? He kept Travis Kelce in there, and I respect that. Like he had to pay respect to what he has done this year.
True. He left old Travis Kelce and David Montgomery in his lineup, and Montgomery didn't play this
good
week.
play. I think he had a chance to come back in.
David
did.
If he would have played, maybe.
But baby.
For my team, I had the old Aaron Rodgers. He got me the 30 points. That was pretty clutch. And then Derrick Henry only had about 12. He could use a touchdown in there or two, like he was doing earlier in the season. Miles Sanders kind of did pretty average, just had 13.5. And then my wide receivers, one scored 25, Stephon Diggs. Thank you for that last second touchdown. Then I thought they won the game with, but they didn't. And then Michael Thomas, the dud for my team with the 4.7.
How do you feel with Michael Thomas getting the gunslinger?
Dude, when he had Teddy Bridgewater last year, he did really good because he could go deep. But I don't know about because Jameis wasn't throwing him the ball yesterday.
Yeah, Jameis has this tendency to find the target he likes and just throw to them. So if it's Michael Thomas,
let's go. If it's not, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But hey, I've had Michael Thomas for 2 weeks.
No, Bryce is still right. Yeah, he's had it for 2 weeks.
2-0. Wait, or is this 3 weeks?
This is second.
Yeah, second week. But so then I played Austin Hooper. I think he was my start of the week for tight end along with Colin, and that didn't turn out well. And then I had Will Fuller. He didn't do too hot either. His touchdown streak came to an end, which kind of sucks. And then I left my Pittsburgh D in. Of course, they're going to do good. And then old Matt Prater with the game-winning field goal got me 16. And then Coop's team didn't really go off or do terrible. They all did kind of average. I mean, he started Mark Ingram. I don't know what he expects from Mark Ingram, but
I think he's been in his lineup
pretty good
all
on
year.
his team would be Mike Evans.
Cooper or not?
The touchdown.
Kind of went off this week.
Who?
The kickers.
Yeah, kickers are good.
Dude, yeah, mine. I had
It's
Brent
17.
Suckup. He had 17. I mean, absolutely.
Oh yeah, can we talk about this?
Oh,
Blue dropping Jamison Crowder when he has a kicker on his bench.
Yeah, I don't understand what that's all about.
I didn't mind it.
Kickers are popping off.
If Ryan Suckup, if they would have scored a touchdown instead of having 4 field goals, maybe they just have 2 touchdowns instead of 2 field goals. I don't know. I think it's looking good for the receiving options for Tampa Bay.
Now, is it possible to put kickers at flex?
I don't think so, man.
I
mean, if we are, maybe Luke knows something we don't.
Can I put my kicker in as a tight end instead? I'd do that.
Right. Do you guys want to talk waivers? Waivers go through today. We can wrap it up with waivers if you guys want.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. So the waiver order is Wyatt and then me. So I'll kick it off. I'm expecting Wyatt doesn't pick anyone up. I'm kind of banking on it. So
He's not going.
I may or may not have 5 waiver claims in.
5.
5. I'll talk about the first one because I don't know if I want the rest of them to be taken. So I think I might give up on George Kittle. I was told that I might need to give up on
in the dishwasher. Those are clean.
So I'm going for old Savon Muhammad. He went off last week. Here's the possibility of keeping the job for a little while for the Dolphins until Gaskin gets back. I mean it's just good running back depth. That's my main one. He's number 1. Who are you guys looking at picking up?
Who's next on waiver order? They can go.
They could be
Boyer's 4. He's next.
It's Cooper and then Boyer.
I really haven't decided yet. I mean, I did pick up Jamison Crowder. I really just pressed add and it just went to my team, so that was nice. But I really don't know who I want. I'm kind of sitting. I kind of need a defense. So that's probably what my second pickup will be, is a defense.
Mm-hmm.
I need to. That's what it's going to be, as a defense.
Yeah.
I just don't know what defense I want yet.
Hey, man, you want Washington's defense?
Nah, fam.
Okay, good talk.
Bruce, I think, is next.
At the moment, I don't want to drop anybody from my team at the moment.
Yeah.
Because Deontay Johnson, I'm not going to drop him. Stephon Diggs, he's on bye. And then I have 2 players on IR, so one of them's actually on the IR and the other's David Johnson with a concussion.
Wait, he got put on IR for a concussion?
Yes.
Wait, shoot, I do remember that. 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then I still have Fulgham, which worries me that he scored 1 point, whatever points last week because of everybody else coming back. And then I believe Corey Davis is going to do the same thing that Brandon is having with Brandon Cooks, where he's just going to keep going up and up and up after this 0-point game and then his 11-point game. And then I do have 2 tight ends on my bench. Jordan Reed's going to be a beast.
That's where I'm at. I got too many.
And Dallas Goedert.
Yeah,
I have 3 tight ends on my team.
Yeah.
So if I was going to pick anybody up, I think I'd go with a running back this week, being McKissick. But we'll see.
I would pick up McKissick, but I already have Gibson, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Zach, are you looking at picking up anyone this week on waivers?
I don't want to drop anyone on my team, man. I really like my team.
See, that's the luxury of being bad. Is I have a lot of
the luxury. He said.
You know, Darnell Mooney dropped him this morning. I was fed up with him.
That's enough for 1 week.
Brandon, you think about picking up anyone?
I'm not thinking about picking up anyone, but there is someone that is interesting I'm looking at. Willie Snead, he had a good week this week with 2 touchdowns. That carries it. But looking at this, his targets and everything is starting to go up. When he first had that, beginning of the season, his first week he did solid with 16. But after that, up until against Pittsburgh at week 8, 2 receptions, 0, 1. And he was getting about that much targets too. But lately, the last 3 games, Pittsburgh had 5 receptions for 7 targets, 106 yards, no touchdown. Against the Indianapolis, he 4 targets. We got all 4 of them. So, he only had 7 right there. But the targets are staying high for the next game against the Patriots, and he gets 7 targets and 5 receptions. And that's where the 2 touchdowns come in. So maybe he might be someone you want to slide in on your bench and keep him for a while in case, we're talking about Brandon Cooks and stuff, production goes up, because his playoff season is Jacksonville, Giants, and Cincinnati. So it might be someone you want to slide on the bench and hold on and see what happens.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, it is nice.
Willie Snead.
Yeah, that is pretty nice.
Nah.
Yeah,
Lamar in the playoffs. I know it's not actual playoffs, but Lamar in the playoffs.
Personally, I'm just staying away from all pass catchers
Ravens.
for Baltimore. Yeah. I think Josh Reynolds is interesting. He got a lot of action last week when everyone thought it would be Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. Michael Pittman went off last week. Might be the emergence of another great rookie wide receiver.
What's that Pats wide receiver that's going off?
Dude, Jacoby Myers. I was going to bring this up.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers accounts for 25% of the New England Patriots passing touchdowns this year.
Really?
One of the four.
4? There's 4?
There's 4. Yeah, Jacoby Myers, I've always liked him. I think I talked about this with you guys before. He's an undrafted rookie. He was a quarterback in college, so he's filling in that Julian Edelman role. The past 3 weeks, 10 targets, 14 targets, 7 targets. I think this continues with the health of the Pats wide receivers. Julian Edelman, I don't know what's going on. No one has really said much except for that he went and got surgery. I mean, he's not on IR, I don't think. Oh wait, okay, yep, he's on IR. Nice. But I don't know what's going on with Julian Edelman. If he comes back, that takes away from Jacoby and other pass catchers in New England. But Jacoby is the one you want, and I think he's a great ad in like semi deep leagues because I'm sure he's already he's 38% rostered. So I like him as a Pats fan. I love him. I think that is all we have for this episode of the Fantasy Football Show. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on Thursday. We're going to have some matchup preview in our own league, some starts of the week, some buy-sell. We're going to have a great show on Thursday. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Toodaloo.
Hey,